Hey y'all, it's Hajime Academia, and we're here to talk to you about this crazy, confusing, worst anime we've ever seen. God, it's filled with pacing problems. What were we watching? Garzey's Wing. Garzey's Wing. How the heck did this anime even get made?
Man, you gotta blame and thank this guy, Yoshiyuki. Pretty much, some people may know him. He's the guy who created Gundam. So when working at Gundam, he was fired from that directory, that department. They no longer wanted him working on the series. And so for him, he felt like, okay, I'm going to get these guys back and come out with some bomb as fuck. That didn't happen. It bombed. And it was like, what the fuck, you know? But no, so he went to this news series, this news studio, and it was like, all right, I'm going to bring you guys this, tight-ass anime called Garzey's Wing. This was supposed to be a 52 long, kind of deal that he had with these guys. But they hated it. And they're like, nah, we want you, we want your talents, but this ain't it. And so that 52 episode turned into a quick little 3-episode monstrosity, because there's no way of keeping up with what's going on. There's no way of knowing what's going on without... You gotta write shit down and rewatch time after time, because that's the only way I can keep up.
You gotta play pause.
Yes,
Write down every little thing, and you'll still be lost.
You still gonna be confused.
You're not gonna know
don't know what's going on. Bullshit.
They're gonna say names of things, places, people, and you're not gonna know if that was a place, was that a person?
Yeah.
Was that a thing?
You don't know, and so you sit there in awe.
God, the pacing is just so bad.
You're gonna get some jokes and some laughs along the way.
Oh yeah, because it's funny just hearing them say the names of all these things that you have no idea what it is.
Not only them saying the names, you gotta thank the American actors behind this shit, because they put in so little enthusiasm in doing some of these characters, and so extra.
There's some of the worst voice acting that I've seen.
Yeah, like some of the characters' voices didn't pair up to their bodies. You're seeing like that big old guy at the end who had no lines the entire time.
And then he says one thing in the funniest voice. God, I can't remember what he said, but man, we both cracked up.
It was so bad. It was so bad. Man.
You have people's mouths moving, nobody's talking, or they're talking and there's no mouths moving.
Yeah. So you would think how something coming from a studio with a huge budget could produce something like this. But the art was so poor. The artwork was so bad. But that's the joy in watching it. I honestly, after a few drinks, I got a case of the Googles or some shit, I could rewatch the show.
Just for the fun.
Just for the fun of it. Just to see the look on other people's faces if I'm showing it to them.
You just want to laugh at how bad it is.
Yeah, because the shit is so bad.
Yeah. So, maybe we'll talk about what happens. Yeah, as much as we can.
Let's not bash it without, giving it a little bit of context.
Yeah, we'll maybe give you a little bit of the plot points that we could understand. Mm-hmm. And kind of get the basic story.
Yeah. So, basically, we have our main character, this guy named Chris. And where the show starts out is Chris is on his motorcycle. And, he's standing there, it's middle of the night, he's standing there with this woman. And you have no context of what was said beforehand, just know that she's upset with him and she's crying. She says, Chris, you can't be moving to Tokyo. And then
I have to go to college.
Yeah. But he has to go to college, and he just revs off and takes off on his bike.
God, next thing you know, his necklace starts bouncing around, and he says, is that the shrine of, oh God, something. Like, we're supposed to know what that is.
Yeah, there's so many random mentionings, and you don't know who or what the fuck he is speaking about. And you're just like, okay, shrine, I'll follow. And next thing you know, a giant bird just comes up and picks him up off his bike and takes him flying off. Shit's so wild.
Oh, you forgot to mention that when the bird picks him up, all of his clothes disappear.
Oh, yeah.
He's naked.
Man's in the nude.
That's the opening scene of the anime.
Yeah. And then that's the part where I was like, I can't watch this alone. This shit is so bad. I can't do it. Alright, so pretty much we pick up with Chris, our main character, still naked at this point, but falling into the middle of a war. There's two warring sides. One of the group is an enslaved people. There's thousands of them. And they're running through what appears to be like mosses and like swamps and whatnot. But there's so much going on that you really can't pay attention because you're still being thrown with, these names of people you don't know, these places that you don't know where it's at. There's just a lot of hiccups going on and confused.
Yeah, they're trying to explain to Chris like who they think he is, where they're going, who they are, why they're fighting, all this stuff, and the names are just so long and funny sounding that you can't follow any of it.
Right. And the voices of these actors that are saying again, with these characters.
Yeah, they don't care.
Nah.
I mean,
low production on the American end, easily.
Yeah, they make it sound so funny though. So Chris escapes with these people, and he kind of spends most of the time through the series with these people, training a little bit, learning how to survive, and trying to activate Garzey's wing. Mm-hmm. And he actually has this really weird connection with himself back in the real world. So he's still around in the real world and in this new world also at the same time. And he can communicate with himself through his necklace.
Which they don't say how he got in the first place.
Oh, yeah. And then he's asking himself for advice through his necklace.
Yeah.
He's like asking him for help. How are you going to ask yourself for help?
Yeah. How do you ask yourself for help when you are you? You think you know what you know.
Yeah, what are you going to come up with that you couldn't come up with?
He doesn't know.
Yeah, but somehow it helps him anyways.
Yeah, so he ends up getting, an idea of building guns.
Oh yeah, that never came to be though.
It never did, but he gave him the idea like, hey, you should use guns. And he's all like,
he draws out the design of a gun in the sand.
He's all like, where am I going to get this metal material to make
We
this
can't
gun?
make that.
Yeah, I want to say if we were to put a year on it, before even the 1500s, bro. These people are so primal.
Oh yeah. This is like 1100s.
Yeah, it's way back there.
Yeah. So, man. So what ends up happening? They end up. Chris helps them build these more advanced weapons, explosives, and things.
Yeah, they know. I think was it sulfur? They were getting some of the chemicals needed to like make bombs.
I feel like they have their own sort of chemical that's unique to the show. That had some crazy name.
Yeah, again, the name.
That's how they do it.
We don't know.
And they end up using all this stuff for one final battle towards the end of the series. Mm-hmm. And they win. They win the final battle. How did they win the final battle?
Oh, how they won the final battle was the best part. So pretty much you have Chris again falling from the sky, because old habits die hard. But Garzey's wings come off of his ankles and they smash right into this monster that's been, they've been fighting with for the last 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
And then this monster just so happens to fall on over the main villain that they've been fighting with. Not only does this monster fall on this main villain, though, I believe for Chris to go home, he gets presented with this, how do you say? Basically, he got to handle this person, He says the only way to get home is you got to kill this man, stab him right in his heart.
Oh yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to be stuck here with us in our time. And Chris, he kind of takes the sword and looks at it, and he pretty much braces himself.
Yeah. Next scene, is, him vomiting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, we.
Okay, so Chris makes it back home finally, and we're left confused as ever. He meets up with his girlfriend or sister. I'm not sure exactly what she is to him, but he meets up with her. They're riding on his motorcycle down the freeway when, wouldn't you know it, Garzey's wing appears, and they both fly off into the sunset.
Yes.
That is the end of the anime.
Very romantic.
Yeah, it was romantic.
Wasn't for me, though.
Alright. Well, so that's the basic story. If you want to watch it yourself, try to figure out more details.
I highly recommend to watch this if you want to get that, if you want to cry and laugh all at once, because this is that, this is going to make your stomach hurt, your jaw hurt, because it just will. You got to see it to believe it.
You get some good chuckles.
Yeah. Ab exercises.
Yeah, but you're laughing because it's so bad.
More than anything, yeah.
Yeah. Alright, let's give our final thoughts. I would rate this maybe 3 out of 10 for the laughs I got. Only good thing was the laughs. What about you?
This was a 2 out of 10 for me.
2 out of 10?
2 out of 10.
So low. Why did you give it a 2?
Maybe if it was that 52 episodes, I could have grown to love it, honestly, because the story wasn't... I saw that they had a vision, and that vision just was shattered entirely with what they produced. So, I mean, if, again, in its entirety, probably a 5 out of 10. But with what I was given, 2 out of 10.
Yeah, it was all just way too fast and way too hard to follow. Way too confusing.
Yeah, so how about this? It's sci-fi fantasy factor, 2 out of 10. It's comedy, Oscar nominated type shit. That's a 10 out of 10 for me right there.
It's comedy.
Comedy gold is what it was.
Okay, so those are our opinions on Garzey's Wing. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Remember to like, subscribe, leave comments. This is Hajime Academia, and we'll catch y'all in the next video.
Yeah, we out.